only got a certain amount of time on this earth, and how do you make sure that you are thinking about that future when you do eventually stop working, so that you're able to provide for yourself and your family at that point in your life? So let's start off first of all with a dual tax agreement. So what is a dual tax agreement? Well, essentially what it means is that you shouldn't pay tax twice, but you do still owe a government for your tax. Which side of the line are you on? Well, that's something that is a question, and we'll try and answer in a bit, or at least give you some very vague guidance, as clear as we can make it anyway. One thing to be aware of, though, is common reporting standards. And I put this in there because quite often I come across potential clients who are quite blasé, about the tax man. What are they going to do? How do they know? Well, we're entering the age of artificial intelligence, big data, and all you have to do is Google common reporting standards to see how good government agencies are at sharing data. So if you think just because you've got an offshore account somewhere and all your money's flowing through there that you don't need to report to a tax man, and yet you're living in South Africa, those days are long, long behind us, and our advice is always to consider regularizing your affairs or normalizing your affairs with the tax man. It's not something that you should mess about with. But actually the good news is that South Africa is currently, and I'll talk about some of the recent changes or potential changes, it's currently one of the most tax efficient jurisdictions for pensioners. So for people that have lived and worked abroad, this is where the dual tax agreement really works for you. So that's the headline points on a dual tax agreement. And obviously there are lots of these agreements between all the different countries in the world. The most relevant ones, if you're coming back to South Africa though, are the dual tax agreements between South Africa and the country that you were in previously or are currently in now when you're thinking of moving back. So how do you live in South Africa and work remotely for an overseas employer?